Chris, can you hurt Manny Pacquiao, and how so?
Absolutely, absolutely. Where if you can hit a man, you can hurt him. If you can hurt him, you can stop him. I've had that mentality my entire career. I don't care who I'm fighting. A guy could be 8-12. That guy can knock you out.
Chris, Manny has a lot of hand speed. He's been considered one of the fastest guys in the sport for years now. Can you match his speed or even exceed it? Because you're considered pretty fast yourself.
Yeah, I think guys are underestimating my speed a little bit, but I don't necessarily have to beat his speed or match his speed because timing beats speed. And at the same time, the reach difference, Manny has to start from further away. So even if he is faster, he's got to start from further away to get to me, before I can hit him before he can hit me. So the speed differential and the range differential, it all plays in. There's a lot of factors involved with, any boxing match.
Chris, do you know, Manny said there was going to be random style drug testing. Have you been tested yet, or have you been, how's that process been?
I was tested in New York. I did the VADA testing for the Ruslan Pronikov fight. I think at the highest level, everybody should be tested. It's it's good for the whole sport. It's good for sports in general. Our sport's not like other sports. This is lives are on the line, more so than other sports. Not that they're in other sports, but this is a fight. So getting competitive advantage like that is dangerous.
Have you ever fought anybody you suspected was using?
Oh, many times, especially in kickboxing when the regulations were not enforced at all.
So how do you deal with that, like mentally, because hey, this guy is doing something that I'm not doing?
So what? I'll beat you anyway. I train with guys all the time, and they're in the gyms and they're on stuff. And guys ask me, "What do you want, man? You don't get tired." What do you mean what I'm on? I'm good nutrition and I'm sleeping right. What are you doing? So I've been beating those guys and guys who are cheating, quote unquote, for years. So in terms of it happening on fight night, it happens. It's a shame, but I can't be thinking negatively about my performance based on what they're doing.
I've spoken to fighters on that issue, and they say they feel a lot of pressure, and sometimes that's why they go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt pressure from outside sources to kind of go that route?
No, because I haven't had the need. I can understand exactly what you just said, because I've seen it in other athletes at the high levels when there's a lot of money involved, and guys just can't keep up, or they think they need that extra push, and it's helped a lot of athletes. A lot of guys really break into astronomical numbers and achievements. So I understand the pressure to do it, but like I said, with this sport for me, it's not even a question because it's dangerous. Lives are at stake.
Chris, I gotta ask you this. You ask 10 people about your fight with Pacquiao, and you'll get 10 different answers.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a 50-50 fight? Is he the favorite? Are you the favorite?
Yeah, I don't know. Other people's opinions are none of my business. Whatever people think is gonna happen is gonna happen. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's what myself and Pacquiao do on November 22nd, and that's what's important.
Chris, Manny hasn't knocked anybody out in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you take that into consideration? That he hasn't knocked anybody out in a while. Does that affect in any way how you're going to train?
No. Myself and my team, we've got probably a different approach than most. We don't concern ourselves too much with the opponent. I'm not following what Manny's doing. I'm not trying to understand what he's doing every day and see how his training is going. I just have to worry about myself and do what I do. And I don't even think about my past fights because I'm going to be a different person on November 22nd. And, Manny will be a whole different person. So what happens in the past is not what's going to be happening in the future. So,
Why do you guys train in Vegas, and what do you think about training in that city?
For one, my coach Tim Lane lives in Las Vegas. My other coach, Keith Trimble, is in New York, so he's my full-time New York guy. And then Tim is out here on the West Coast in Vegas. But for me, especially recently, it's a lot tougher in New York to train and not be bothered by a lot of press or the gym's a circus these days. I go for a run in my neighborhood and I got cars following me. It's different. It's a lot different now. So for me to get away from New York is a good thing, and it was a good thing even before the Ruslan fight because I worked a lot when I was in New York. So for me, it was I wasn't living like a professional there. When I'm here, I can live like a professional and get a lot of rest and make sure my body's recovering, and I can train that much harder.